So we're going to take a look at the indexes. NASDAQ did a big pullback today on the NASDAQ. And let's not a big pullback, sorry. A big dump right at the end of the day. Look right at the end of the day. Look at that. Just a big dump right at the end of the day. And that's because people are anticipating inflation data tomorrow. And people are anticipating that it comes out and inflation is high, which is obviously, it's not really good for stocks. And high inflation is not really good for stocks because it increases company expenses, it decreases consumer spending power, and also it tends to increase interest rates as well. So that's not good for stocks. Now I'm seeing this potential rising wedge type of pennant pattern on QQQ, NASDAQ. So let's keep an eye on that because this is a bearish pattern, and that is the same pattern that I saw in Bitcoin up here. Same kind of pattern. So exercise some caution on the NASDAQ right here. Not complete yet, so there's still some time. But a reason to exercise some potential caution on the NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ would be very tied to S&P 500 and the Dow Jones as well. Dow Jones still unable to break its highs. Had a little bit of a rising wedge over here on the daily. Now maybe breaking bearish. S&P 500. The index wasn't able to pass the high. SPY was, which is a big ETF tied to the S&P 500. That did pass the high, but ever so slightly. But the actual index did not as of now. And it's really been stuck around this area. So, and like I said in my previous videos, this looks like distribution to me. It really does. And we look at the Tesla chart at the high. Look at this. Look at this pattern. And now look at Tesla right up here at the top. I don't know if you notice that or you could see that. Hold on. It looks kind of similar to me. It looks kind of similar to me. And we've got this sideways trading for months, which isn't really typical of the S&P 500. Usually it's going up or it's going down. Up or down, or up or down, up or down. Over here, we're going sideways. Not often we have this really clean sideways action in a range. And I think this is distribution. I think we're going to see a pullback in the markets. That's a little bit of a bias. Okay. But I look at data and I say, okay, if inflation is going up and interest rates are going up, maybe the economy is opening back up. Everything's going back to normal. Could be a little bit of a sell the news event on the markets as a whole. Markets are obviously overextended. I mean, the S&P is 500 is up nearly 100% from the March lows last year. I mean, that's astronomical for the S&P 500. Okay, I think it's overextended. Okay, but that's an opinion. We're going to see. Is the S&P 500 able to break the all-time high and push and show strength and break out of this range? That's what we're looking at. But we are overbought pretty much on the weekly. We're overbought on the monthly. Usually when we're overbought on the monthly, there is a pullback. Okay, weekly, we're getting that bearish converging MACD on the weekly on the S&P 500. We already had that on the NASDAQ in a clear one for the first time really since the coronavirus crash. There was a bearish MACD cross here, but it wasn't very clear. It didn't go anywhere. Whereas this, we've got that blue line getting lower, creating some space between the blue and the orange line, whereas here it didn't really. So we got a clear bearish MACD cross on the NASDAQ. We got that rising type of pennant pattern that I was looking at. Potential bearish head and shoulders type of pattern forming over here. S&P 500 consolidation. I see some red flags in the market. That's my take. I could be completely wrong. And I've been wrong. I've been wrong with BlackBerry as of now. It was looking good to me. And I think where I'm making a mistake here is something I call missing information. Not taking into account all the information. The information was, and really, these type of volume spikes almost always signal a reversal. And it did. And this is a massive volume spike. And unless bulls are able to get above this area, which is just over $20 US, then bulls can see a really nice push and squeeze to the upside because it will leave a lot of shorts in the red. But right now, a lot of shorts are in the green. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of people that bought that are sitting in the red. So there's selling pressure on the top. So again, we'll see there. So I've been wrong with some things. I've had some good calls. Clove, I said sell on the gap up, bunch of other things. I was on point. I was watching that Bitcoin pattern for weeks. I said it was about to dump. It did. It dumped. Now we're getting a big rebound and a short squeeze because obviously too many people went short and on one side of the trade. So what do? Then they flip it the other way. When too many people get on one side of the ship tends to flip over. And that's what happens. So that's what I'm looking at. QQQ. We'll see. We got an inside bar today. Are we going to break this inside bar bullish tomorrow, or are we going to break it bearish? And that's the question. And if we break it bullish, are we able to pass that all-time high? If we break it bearish, are we going to hold these supports from the previous days over here? That's what we're looking at. I'm going to end that here. Have a nice day, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out the course if you want to learn more. Thanks for watching.